A pleasant day to you, Dr. Randy Joy Ventayen. Hi, sir. I am Mark Tabora, a student of PSU OUS Thailand, and currently taking up the course of Masters of Arts in Education, major in Educational Management. So, as a requirement in Computer 2, I will be discussing the activity number 3. So, for our activity number 3, I am tasked to discuss the following. Number 1, exporting Google Forms or sheet data to SPSS. Number 2, importing XLS data to SPSS. Number 3 is a walkthrough of SPSS. Number 4, discussing data and variable view. And number 5, computing frequencies in SPSS. So task number 1 is to export Google Forms or sheet data to SPSS. It's actually easy to do that. All you have to do is to go to Google Form, type in Google Forms. All right, and then click this link and then go to Google Forms and then sign into your account where you have the data. So it's taking me to another tab. Click this form. Okay, so this is my survey, utilization and effectiveness of the strategies in teaching English employed by Filipino teachers. So as you can see, these are the questions that I have, and then click on responses. In order for you to see the data, all you have to do is to hover on this green icon, which is named as view responses in sheets. Click on that one. It will take you to another tab and it will take you to your raw data. Now what we want to do is we want to export these data to SPSS. So one way for us to do that is we're gonna go and highlight all the raw data and then convert all the string data to numerical data for analysis, because if it's string data, the analysis will not run for string data. Okay, so all we gotta do is to replace all the string data to numerical data. Okay, what I'm going to do is I have copied this one to another sheet. Okay, and it's actually in sheet 2. For sheet 3, I typed in here all the numeric conversion of each string data. So like female will be number 1. I will assign number 2 for all males. For single, it will be 1, married 2, separated 3, widowed 4. All right, so let's try and go ahead and do that. So for timestamp, maybe I'm not going to include that anymore. All right, so let me just go ahead and delete that. Okay, I'll delete that column. Also for name, it's actually optional, so I don't need the information for name. Let me just replace it with another information. Let's type in ID. All right, then type in ID 1, 2, all right, up to the last. So as you can see, we have 18 records here. Let me just go ahead and center that one. For sex, we'll go and replace female to 1 and male to 2. So find and replace. So type in female and replace with number 1. Replace all. This will replace all values. Are you sure? Okay. And then replace male to number 2. Replace all. And we're done with this column. Then for single, all single will be marked as 1. Okay, type in single, then replace with number 1, replace all. Okay, for replace all. For separated, we'll replace it with number 3. Replace all. And we're done. Now that all our data is in numeric form, okay, so it's easier for SPSS to run analysis on these data because these are all in numeric form. All we gotta do is to copy all these data up to the end, okay, and then paste it and go to SPSS. Okay, so click on new dataset, open, then click on, okay, click on the first variable, okay, in data view, and then click paste. Okay, so as you can see, all our data are already copied in SPSS, in data view, and in variable view. You can set all the name, the type, the width, the decimals, labels, columns up to row. When you're done, you can go ahead and save it. Okay, so let's save it first. So let's type in activity 3, then hit on save. So that's how easy exporting Google Forms data to SPSS. Now our second task is importing XLS data to SPSS. Okay, so all we have to do is to go to SPSS, open it. All right, it's loading. Wait for it to load. Okay, so now it's open, so we close this dialog box. Okay, in order to import the XLS or the Excel file to SPSS, you can go ahead and click file, then in the drop down you will see import data, and then you can click Excel. Then it will ask you to open the file. So this is Excel data, activity 3, open. Okay, and then click OK. It will open the data that you have in your Excel to the variable view and also to the data view. So that's how easy importing Excel files to SPSS. And you can also go ahead and save that. Click on, let's name it as activity 3, then click on save. Okay. Alright, so the third one is a walkthrough of SPSS. Alright, so all you have to do is to open SPSS, click this icon. Okay, so while it's opening, what is SPSS? SPSS means Statistical Package for the Social Sciences and was first launched in 1968. Since SPSS was acquired by IBM in 2009, it's officially known as IBM SPSS Statistics, but most of us or most users still just refer to it as SPSS. So what does SPSS do? Alright, so SPSS is a software for editing and analyzing all sorts of data. So these data may come from basically any kind of source, scientific research, a customer database, Google Analytics, or even the server log files of a website. So SPSS can open all file formats that are commonly used for structured data, such as spreadsheets from MS Excel. Alright, so it will, when you open SPSS, it will give you a dialog box. You can actually restore previous files that you have edited. You can and then you can just open that, or you can close it. Okay, and then it will take you to this view. All right, so on the ribbon tab, it says here IBM SPSS, that's a subscription. You can see here all the ribbon, or the files: edit, view, data, transform, analyze, graphs, utilities, extensions, window, help, that you can use in for your file, for editing your file or the analysis of your file. And in this view, you can see here some icons that are very useful for analyzing your data, and it will just give you into this window wherein it looks like MS Excel actually. So you also have rows right here, and also columns. It has var, means variables, okay, and also have variable view right here, wherein you can type in all, or you can code, or you can command what you want your variable to do or to look like, and what you want it to execute. So now let us discuss data view and variable view. So in SPSS, after opening data, SPSS displays them in a spreadsheet like fashion, just like what you see in here. So in here, it's like Excel. You can see here all the data values, okay? So variable view, is the second sheet, okay? We call it the variable view, and it shows the metadata associated with your data. The metadata is information about the meaning of variables and data values. This is generally known as what you call that, the code book, but in SPSS it's called the dictionary. So let's try to open our file here in SPSS, so we can discuss to you one by one what we can do in our data view and our variable view. So let's open our file. This one, activity 3, open. All right, then okay. So as you can see, Excel file is already transferred to SPSS, okay, and it's all numeric numbers for the reason that we are going to run it for analysis, so it will be easier. All right, we just have to set it in the variable view to actually display the label. So on our first column, we can see here the ID, the sex or the gender, civil status, monthly family income, subject's thought, field of specialization, teaching experience, and these first few rows are all few columns are all string data when we exported it from Google form earlier, right? Now it's already in numeric form for us to run it in analysis. So we have a total of 40 variables, and number of respondents, we got 18. So let's go ahead and go to variable view. All right, so in the variable view, you can see here the data, or the meaning of your variables, and what you want SPSS to do to these variables, okay? So in the name, all right, we just type here the ID, or the name of the of each column on the data view. So we got ID, sex, civil status. If you can observe, in this row, you cannot actually put in space, so it's like only code. All right, what if in the report we wanted to display civil status and with a space on it? Okay, all you need to do is to go to label, okay, and then in here you will type civil status, and then in your report, when you run an analysis, you will be able to see there in the civil status has actually a space, okay, and the type, okay, it's actually all numeric because we already converted it from string data. Then the width is actually the how big or how many characters can fit in that record, specific record. So it can be the standard is actually 8, but since we are using numbers, we 3 and 2 is enough. Okay, decimal places, if you wanted your value to have decimal places, you can go ahead and add that. Okay, let's try to do that. We wanted to have it with 2 decimal places. Okay, so when you go to data view, you can see here all IDs have 2 decimal places. All right, go back to variable view. Okay, let's remove the decimal places. You can do that with all your variables. So we got 40 variables right here. The labels is just the name of each column. All right, so we got for sex, we don't have it. Let's type in gender. Sex or gender would be fine. So if you run it for frequency or any analysis, it will display gender. So for values, okay, so the default is none. Okay, so as you can see here, for the gender or for sex, it's 1212 because we wanted to display it as numeric, right? So what if we wanted to show the female and males? Okay, so we are going to assign values on that. So let's go in second row, values, it's none. When you click that, it will give you a dialog box, and then you can type in here the value. Example, the value 1, type female, then add, and then 2 for male. So it's like asking SPSS to display female if it sees number 1, and male if it sees number 2. Then click OK. So let's check that in data view. Oh, okay. So as you can see here, all number 1s become female, and then all number 2s become male. Okay, but you can click on value labels to view the numbers, and then you can click that again to see the gender, male and female. And let's try it with the civil status. For civil status, we're going to assign number 1 and label it for people who are single. Okay, 2 for married, then 3 for separated. Okay, then add, then click OK. So when you go, it displays separated, single, married right here. So that's how easy it is to command in variable view. Now missing, it's actually the default none. If it doesn't see a content or cell in the data view, it will give it's none. Columns, you can ignore that. Align right or left, you can ignore that also. For the measure, the default is actually nominal. Okay, but you can actually select the measure. So example, gender, you can choose other scale, other measure, if it's a scale or ordinal or nominal or categorical. Okay, so that's how you use the data view and a variable view in SPSS. And for the last task, we're going to compute the frequencies in SPSS. All right, so let's go back to our SPSS, and this is our data that we have earlier. All right, now we got here variables: ID, sex, civil status, family income, subject slot, field of specialization, teaching experience, number of seminars attended, and right here. Okay, so to compute the frequencies, all you have to do is to go to analyze, and then go to descriptive statistics, hover, and then click on frequencies. Now, you will see here all the variables that you have. You have 40 variables right here. All you have to do is to select all the variables you wanted to compute the frequencies on. Then click this arrow, and then make sure that display frequency tables is checked. Then click OK. Then it will automatically compute the frequency of all the variables that you have. Okay, the first one is ID. As you can see here, we have total number of 18 respondents. Okay, for the gender, female, we have 11 female and 7 male. Also, that would be 61.1% for female and 38.9% for the males. Civil status, 7 are single, 10 are married, 1 is separated. Okay. Monthly family income. Okay. So if you can observe here, monthly family income, okay, has spaces because we put in the variable view that in the label column that we put in here, monthly family income with spaces. Okay, so 56,000 and above, 1, 36,000 to 55,000, 4, 21,000 to 35,000, 11. So subjects taught, 9 are English, total 18. Okay, field of specialization, teaching experience, 5 years and above, 13 frequency of 13, 72%. Numbers of seminars attended. Okay, we also this is international, national, and then local. So that's how easy using SPSS for getting the frequencies. And then if you wanted to copy to have a copy of these tables, you can go ahead and right click on that, copy, and then paste it to any word editor, maybe in Microsoft Word, and then paste that in there. Okay, and then you can type in your interpretation. So that's how easy computing frequencies in SPSS. So thank you so much, Dr. Ventayen, for watching this video, and I'll see you in our next meeting. Bye bye.